Once upon a time, in a little town nestled between rolling hills and whispering streams, there lived a young boy named Tommy.
Tommy was known far and wide for one thing: his love for taking things slow. He'd put off his chores, delay his homework, and linger longer than needed in everything he did. And oh, did he love to daydream. Now Tommy's parents, teachers, and friends all tried to tell him, "Tommy, time is precious. Don't waste it." But Tommy, with a shrug and a smile, would always reply, "I'll do it later." One sunny day, a wise old man came to town. He had traveled far and wide, and people came from all corners to hear his stories and seek his advice. Tommy, curious as ever, decided to go and see what this man was all about. He found the man sitting beneath a towering oak tree, surrounded by eager listeners. Tommy waited patiently for his turn, fidgeting with the hem of his shirt. Finally, it was Tommy's chance to speak. "Oh, wise old man," Tommy began, looking up at the man with wide eyes. "I'm Tommy, and I have a problem. I always put things off, and now I'm falling behind in everything. Can you help me?" The man gazed kindly at Tommy and nodded. "Of course, my young friend. But first, let me share a story with you." Tommy nestled closer, eager to hear what the old man had to say. "Once upon a time," the old man began, "there was a king who had a friend from his school days. This friend, let's call him Sam, was always late, always putting things off, just like you, Tommy." Tommy's eyes widened. "Just like me?" The wise man nodded. "Just like you." Now, this king, being kind-hearted, wanted to help his old friend. So, he made a deal with Sam. He said, "Before sunset, come to my palace and gather as much treasure as you can carry." Tommy's eyes sparkled. "Treasure, wow." "Yes, treasure," the wise man continued. Now, Sam was overjoyed. He ran home to tell his wife, and she was over the moon too. But, instead of hurrying to the palace, Sam decided to take a nap. He was hungry, you see. Tommy nodded, understandingly. "Naps are nice." "Yes, but Sam's nap lasted longer than he planned," the wise man said with a twinkle in his eye. By the time he woke up, the sun was already sinking low in the sky. Tommy gasped, "Oh no." "Yes, oh no indeed," the wise man agreed. Sam rushed to the palace, but it was too late. The gates were closed, and he missed his chance for treasure. Tommy frowned, feeling sorry for Sam. "And so, Tommy," the wise man said, turning to the boy, "what do you think happened next?" Tommy thought for a moment, then looked up with determination in his eyes. "I think Sam learned to not waste time anymore." The man smiled. "Exactly, Tommy. Sam learned the value of time, just like you will. Now, go home and think about what you've learned today. Time is precious, but if you use it wisely, you can achieve anything." With a newfound sense of purpose, Tommy waved goodbye to the wise man and skipped home, eager to start making the most of his time. And who knows what adventures lay ahead for him. As Tommy walked through the winding streets of his town, his mind buzzed with thoughts of the wise man's story. He couldn't shake the image of Sam missing out on the treasure because he wasted time. "I don't want to end up like Sam," Tommy whispered to himself. When he reached his cozy little house, Tommy found his parents in the kitchen, busy preparing dinner. "Mom, Dad," he said, excitement bubbling inside him, "I heard the most amazing story today." His parents looked up, curious smiles on their faces. "Tell us all about it, Tommy," his mom said, wiping her hands on her apron. So Tommy launched into the tale of the king, the lazy friend, and the treasure. He animatedly recounted every detail, from Sam's nap under the tree to his frantic race to the palace gates. His parents listened intently, nodding along as Tommy spoke. And then, Tommy concluded, his voice filled with conviction, "Sam learned that time is precious, and he promised to never waste it again." His parents exchanged a knowing glance. "That's a wonderful lesson, Tommy," his dad said, ruffling his hair affectionately. "We could all learn a thing or two from Sam." Encouraged by his parents' response, Tommy set about his evening chores with newfound determination. He folded his clothes neatly, swept the floors, and even finished his homework before dinner. And as he worked, he couldn't shake the feeling of satisfaction that washed over him. After dinner, Tommy settled into bed, his mind still buzzing with thoughts of the man's story. I'm going to be like the king, he whispered to himself, pulling the covers up to his chin. I'm going to make every moment count. With that thought in mind, Tommy drifted off to sleep, a smile playing on his lips. And as he slept, the moon cast its gentle glow upon the town, illuminating the path to a future filled with promise and possibility. The next morning, Tommy awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. He bounded out of bed, eager to start the day and put his newfound wisdom into practice. As he washed his face and brushed his teeth, he couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement bubbling inside him. After breakfast, Tommy headed outside to play with his friends. But instead of getting lost in daydreams and letting the hours slip by, he made a conscious effort to make the most of every moment. He chased after his friends with newfound energy, laughing and playing until the sun dipped below the horizon. When evening fell and it was time to head home, Tommy felt a sense of accomplishment wash over him. He hadn't wasted a single moment of the day, and it felt wonderful. As he walked through the quiet streets of his town, Tommy couldn't help but marvel at the beauty of the world around him. The stars twinkled overhead, and the gentle rustle of the trees whispered secrets in the night. When he reached his house, Tommy found his parents waiting for him with smiles on their faces. "You seem happy, Tommy," his mom said, her eyes twinkling with pride. "I am, Mom," Tommy replied, beaming. "I've learned that time is precious, and I don't want to waste a single moment of it." His parents exchanged a glance, a silent understanding passing between them. They knew that Tommy had learned a valuable lesson, one that would serve him well for the rest of his life. That night, as Tommy drifted off to sleep, he felt a sense of contentment wash over him. He knew that tomorrow would bring new adventures and challenges. But he was ready to face them head-on, armed with the knowledge that time was his most precious resource. And so, as the moon cast its gentle glow upon the town once more, Tommy closed his eyes and drifted off into a peaceful slumber, dreaming of all the wonderful things that the future held in store. The next morning, Tommy woke up with a sense of purpose burning brightly in his heart. He greeted the day with a smile, ready to seize every opportunity that came his way. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Tommy continued to live each moment to the fullest. He worked hard at school, pursued his hobbies with passion, and cherished every precious moment with his family and friends. And as he grew older, Tommy never forgot the valuable lesson he had learned from the wise old man. He understood that time was a gift, not to be squandered but to be treasured and cherished. Years passed, and Tommy grew into a kind, compassionate, and successful young man. He achieved his dreams and touched the lives of everyone he met with his infectious optimism and zest for life. And so, dear viewers, the story of Tommy teaches us a timeless lesson. That time is the most precious gift we have, and how we choose to spend it defines the course of our lives. So let us cherish each moment, live with purpose, and make every second count, for in the end, it is not the years in our life that matter, but the life in our years. Thanks for watching, and please comment below.